Hello everyone. Today we are going to solve Leetcode problem 547, which is number of provinces, in which we are given a graph. We are given a graph or a set of nodes, undirected nodes, in which either they are connected or not connected. So the problem statement says that if A is connected to B and B is connected to C, then A is connected to C indirectly through B, and then the number of nodes is 2. And the example that we are going to test the code that I have written against is the first example, in which we are given an is connected array, and the expected output is 2, because this two the 1 and 2, since they are connected, should be considered as 1, and 3 being alone not connected with anyone, should be connected to nodes. So so I was able to solve this problem using depth first search. So in which basically I keep a track of nodes which are visited and which are not visited. So if the node is visited, I won't mark them as I won't count them as I won't count them, and that would be considered as already visited, and the one which I'm not visiting, that will be the one that I'll be counting as the second province, and that's how I'll go ahead. So let's take this as an example and try to see, let's walk through the code. So initially we initialize the count to be 0, and then before so in a in an array problem, let it be a 2D array. So whenever we do an array dot length, that initializes the rows, and when we do an array like array of 0 dot length, would initialize the column. So that's what I have done here. So we initialize the row and column. So in this case, since the input array of is connected is equal to uh, so our row would be equal to 3, and our column would also be equal to 3. And then we create a boolean visitor. So boolean visitor would be the one that we'll be using to keep a track of all the nodes that we visited. So that will be created from the length of the rows. So in our case, the visited would be of 3, length of 3, with all initialized as false, which is not visited. And let's also keep a track of 0, 1, and 2. So this is visited. Then we keep, this is cube, that is basic, that's we are going to use to keep a track of all the nodes that we are accessing. So let's keep a track of this provinces. So if this will initialize this, initially this will be an empty. Just a second. So we start the iteration. So first we start with 0, 0 less than 3. So we come inside, we check if visited of 0, which is false, and not. So this the if loop is validated, we come inside. So we increment the count from 0. Let's we increment the count from 0 to 1. Okay. Then we add the provision. So we add basically 0 in the queue. Then we enter this while loop. Okay, if the provision dot empty is false and not, will make it true, and then we come inside this while loop over here. Okay, so we basically remove the first so we remove the first element from the queue. And if I keep this is going to be, this will be nothing but our value 0. That's what we had inserted. Okay, so now visited of 0 will be marked as true. Oh, so visited of mark will 0 will be marked as true. Okay, so this is nothing but we marked it as 2. So now we go from 0. So initialize the column C, and from 0 to row, which is currently 3. So we go from 0 to all the way 3, and we check if if there is any node which is not visited, we'll add it to the queue. Okay. So what we do is we check 0 less than 3, 0 plus plus. So that condition validates. So visited of 0 should be, the visited of 0 is true. So true false. So this is return true. So not would be false. So false and anything would return false. So we skip this loop. We do not add anything. We increment this. We increment C from 0 to 1. Okay, 1 less than 3. That's correct. So we check visited of 1. Is it, so visited of 1 is false. So not will be true. So this part becomes true. Then is connected of province. So province is nothing but 0, and 0 comma 1. So 0 comma 1 is nothing but 1 is equal to 1. Yeah, this means that this both are connected, and we can add the C into the queue. So now we'll add C, which is 1, to our queue. Then we'll go back and check. So we'll increment C from 1 to 2. So visited of C, which is 2. So false and not. So this becomes true. So visited of true is false and not become make is true. And then is connected of the connected province is 0 and 0 comma 2. So this is our 0, and 0 comma 2 is not equal to 1. Okay. So we'll not add anything to our queue. Okay. We come out of this loop. Okay. Now we come out of this loop and we check if province is empty, is it's false, and we mark it with the not, it becomes true. We come inside, we now update the connected prov to basically from removing the value from the queue, which is 1, and the queue becomes empty now. And now we'll check, now we'll make the connected of visited of province, which is 1, to be true. So we'll mark this again to be true. Okay, and then we'll again loop through the same way, but this time okay, so this time we'll be basically accessing the second array. So what we are trying to do is we are first like finding the connected connection between 1 and 2 over here. So we'll do the same thing. So we'll C will be again initialized to 0. So visited of 0 is true. So this part, the next second part of condition will not get executed. So again, C will be incremented from 0 to 1. Okay. So what happens is visited of 1 is again true. So true, not false. This will not get executed, and then C gets updated to 2. So what happens here is visited of 2 is false. This becomes true and is connected of province 1. So this is the first array. So 1 comma 2 is nothing but 0. So we do not add anything. And in this case, and after, when we increment the C, 3 less than 3 is false. So this for loop will not get executed. There is nothing in the queue. Okay. So this is true, and true will return true negation false. So nothing will be returned here. Okay. So now so we come out of this if loop. Okay, and then we increment our r, which was initially 0. I did not keep a track of r, so it was 0. Then we incremented to 1. We check visited of 1, which is true. So true negation false. So this if loop is not executed at all. So we do not go through the any iterations. Then we again increment r from 1 to 2 over here. And when we do that, so visited of r is false. We come inside, we increment the count from 1 to 2. Then we repeat the entire process. So like we add the program, so we add the R to our queue, which will be nothing but 2. We'll check if province dot is empty, which is false, and true. So negation makes it true, and we enter the while loop over here. After entering the while loop, we'll first we'll first remove that first element, remove that last element from the queue. The connected province will be equal to 2 in this case. So we'll mark this visited as true. So we have visited all the 3 nodes in our case right now. So we'll repeat the same thing over here. So 0 less than 3. So 0 is visited, 1 is visited. So then we come to 2 in this case. So visited of 2, visited of 2 will be marked as true and is connected. So basically this will also not get executed because we have visited it. And then we exit the for loop, we exit the while loop, we exit the if loop, and we also exit the for loop, and we return the count, which is 2. And that's what we are looking for, and that is how we get the number of provinces count as 2. So same thing, if we repeat the same thing, we get the output 3 in this case. We can test it out real quick with the with by passing this as an input to the custom, and we run. So the output is 3, and like when we submit, we get the result. Thank you very much for watching. That's all I have for today. Thank you.